Hello and welcome. My name is Robin Arbrecht at Really Robin Stamps, and I'm so glad you're here and joining me today. This is Papercrafting Playdate, and we have episode 81 today. I am doing this live on January 29th, 2023. No matter when you're watching this, I appreciate you joining me for some playing time with paper. So, if you are brand new to my channel, welcome. You'll find a great community here of awesome people. If you have been following me for a while, welcome. I'm so glad to have you back. Please leave me a comment and tell me where you're from, and let's chat about cards. I love to chat and talk about cards. Hello, everyone. All right, so today we are going to tackle Slimline cards. And I have a lot to show you. So I'm going to turn right to the table and we will get going. Hi, Terry. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Nydia. Hey, Susan and Lynn and Gina. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for being flexible. I love that we can change our dates when needed, when things happen. So let me show you some amazing cards I've received in the mail recently. This gorgeous, fun little card is from Judy out east, and she made me this fun little Christmas card to the coolest friend ever. How fun is that? I never thought I'd receive that with those penguins. Thank you, Judy. This is from Wanda. She's in Michigan. And this was her, I think this was her kind of like her Christmas card, reminding us to know that spring is coming. Winter's not going to last forever. I love it, right? I love it. This is from Sarah. She used the cut and stack template, and she put this fun diagonal in here. I can't wait to bring out this pattern and try it again because I love that diagonal. And I was carrying this card around with me all week looking at it, and apparently I've spilled a little something on there, so I'm sorry about that. But this card is gorgeous. Thank you so much, Sarah. I love your little focal point layers. Hi, Jonna. Hi, Jean. Hi, Sherry. This is a Christmas card from my team member Cheryl Sorensen, and it's such a cool fun fold. And she sent it to me, and then it came back to her for no reason. Well, I think she forgot the address number, but so she hand delivered it. Look how fun that is. And those just overlap. That's a great fold, right? And then when it stands up, we'll have to tackle this one at some point. I love the size of it too, a little square card. All right, and I got this fun card from Ureta. She made our corner squash fold. How nice is this? Beautiful. I love it with this paper. She even embossed some vellum with an embossing folder behind that flower. It looks so pretty on the white. I just love it. All right, and then this card is from Maureen. She did a version of the Clean and Simple template. Put these gorgeous purple butterflies on here for me and use that great celebration paper. Isn't that beautiful? Hey, Carol. So nice. So gorgeous. And then this is from Marilyn. Beautiful little cluster you got there. I've been trying to look and see where this little flower is from. We have so many flowers right now. I mean, I could even have it, and I don't even know if, I don't know. I got to look and see where that little flower die cut's from. So cute. Thank you, Marilyn. This is gorgeous, and I appreciate your message very much. And I got a couple sympathy cards. I lost the other brother this week, said goodbye to my kitty. And so this is from my bestie, Claudia. And she did a corner squash fold too. I'm glad you guys like this fold. This is a fun one. And she put both the kitties on there. And it's so sweet because so my kitties were Revan and Malik. And those are names that my family came up with because I guess I'm included in this, but we're big Star Wars fans. And my kids played with their dad, you know, video game Knights of the Old Republic. And there were 2 Jedi knights named Revan and Malik. And so when we adopted these 2 brother kitties, I had no say in it. I was overruled, right? I wanted, like, you know, George and Frank, like some cute, you know. Anyway, so Revan and Malik, they're our Jedi Knight kitties, and so sweet. So anyway, one had a blue bowl, one had a green bowl, so she made those little hearts in blue and green because they couldn't tell them apart. Most people couldn't, you know. In fact, Diane, my little cat sitter, she just called him Mr. Blue Bowl and Mr. Green Bowl because they always came to the same bowl, right? And then Carol, thank you so much, Carol. This is a gorgeous card. This one made my daughter tear up last night when she saw it on my counter. She put a little butterfly on the kitty's tail and used those little paw prints going up to Petland. So I appreciate that so much. Okay, I am very blessed by all those cards. Thank you very, very much. All right, so we are going to tackle Slimline cards today. And let's just do a quick review of envelope sizes. And just to kind of get us in the right space, right? So these are the 2 basic sizes that Stampin' Up! Sells. We've got universally in the United States an A1 and an A2 card, or A1 and A2 size envelope are these sizes here in pink. So this is the standard invitation size card that I make generally all the time. And then this is what I call a note card because it's just slightly smaller than an invitation size card, right? So this is generally the 2 sizes of cards that I make all the time, right? Stampin' Up! Sells those envelopes for those. And then they also sell an A6 size, which is the one that goes with the Memories and More card kits. So it fits a 4x6 picture on it. And it fits those cards. So it's a little bit bigger. It's a nice size. So it comes together with these tiny little like gift card sized envelopes and cards. And these you can't mail. They're not a standard envelope size. So you can mail them, but it'll cost you extra to mail them. So they're great like to put in a gift bag or to hand deliver to somebody for a note. Okay. Hi, Maureen. I just showed your beautiful purple card. Thank you. All right. So then Stampin' Up! Started selling these this size cards last year, about a year ago. And these are size 9. If you're looking for a standard size, these are standard size 9, and they measure 3 7/8 by 8 7/8. Okay. Judy, I just showed your card too. I hope you saw your beautiful card. And then this is what is like a typical business size envelope. This is also kind of like a business size, but most of your business mail that you get is a number 10, and this is what it measures. So you can make cards. If you've got these envelopes at home, you can make cards this size as well. So I'm not going to make any cards that would fit into a business size envelope. I'm going to focus on the Slimline size that Stampin' Up! Sells today, but just so you can kind of figure out the different kind of card sizes that are out there. Now there's also a lot, like if you'd like to go on Pinterest and kind of search different things, there's a lot of cards ideas out there for what is called a mini slimline card. And that, I didn't have any of those envelopes at home, but those, and I don't even know what size it is, but they're about this big. And they're like what I used to put when I had stationery as a kid, and I would write thank you notes on stationery. And you would fold it into thirds and it would fit in that size envelope. So if anybody happens to know what that mini slimline envelope size is, go ahead and throw it in the comments. I appreciate that. All right, so we are going to focus on a couple different ways to make slimline cards. And I created this kind of go-to little chart here for slimline cards that go with our envelopes in different styles. So we're going to do 3 out of these, but when you are going to download this PDF later on my blog, reallyrobinstamps.com, you will have the dimensions for all of this. And I broke it down this way into the columns where this is the paper size, this is where you would score it to fold it, that's going to be the finished size of it, and then I put a very easy variation on there to make it just a little bit different, okay? So this is going to be our reference that we'll use, and you can download that later. So the first card, let me stand up. The first card is going to be made with this gorgeous paper called Enjoy the Journey. It's on page 59, and it's part of the suite called Enjoy the Journey. And this paper is so pretty. So you have all of these scenes already designed for you. There's the tree line. So this paper is like gonna just do all the work. Here's like some clouds. I guess the clouds would be this way. Oh, I guess this is like sky. And then we've got these beautiful sunset mountains and these mountains. And here are the opposite sides. We have not had mountains like this on paper before that I remember, so this is pretty exciting. So there's the back sides, nice prints to use. So we're going to start with this one, and we're going to make our first just a basic slimline card. Here are the colors in this paper. Isn't that bright and happy and wonderful? There's pumpkin pie, mango melody, melon mambo, highland heather, polished pink, starry sky, coastal cabana, and garden green. Lots and lots of colors. Oh, good. Thank you. I knew somebody would know. Lori, 3 5/8 by 6.5 is the smaller slimline. I'm assuming that's the size of the envelope, or is that the size of the finished card? If you could just clarify that for me. I'm going to write that down. 3 5/8. Number 6. Narita says number 6. Thank you, guys. By 6.5. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. All right, my first question for you. So I'm going to use a big piece of this to go on the front of my card. Do you want me to make the card blue and green or purple and blue? Okay, put it in the comments, please. Which side of the mountains do you want me to use? Blue or purple? Just put blue or purple. And I'm going to get the ink pads ready. And my other supplies while you decide. This is going to be our card base, blue or purple. Okay, we have a couple purples. Hi, Chris. purple, purple. Okay, these are Facebook voters. What does YouTube say? Oh, we are all in on the purple. Okay. We're going to choose purple. Good call. So here's how you cut a slimline card. So I'm just going to start from a big piece of 8.5 by 11. And I'm going to do the easy variation because the measurements are easy. That's why I called it easy. So the height or the length of the card is 8.5. So that's easy. So we just have to trim this at 7 inches so that we have 8.5 by 7. This is extra. And then we're going to put it in half. We're going to score it in half at 3.5 because that's half of 7. And that's going to be our halfway. Okay, so now I'm going to take this piece of paper and I'm going to cut this at 3 inches. And then we'll save the rest of this. So I'm going to add a layer in between my designer series paper and the card. And I'll bring in that darker blue, the starry sky, because those look so beautiful together. Okay, so here's where it's going here. Like that. Isn't that pretty? So this is great when you have this paper like this. You can choose so many different ways to cut this, right? If you want to cut it at 6 inches, then you would, add some other paper either on the top or the bottom of your 6-inch piece. I'm going to go ahead and cut mine at 8 inches, but I'll show you how I turned the other 4 inches into a regular size card. Okay, so I'm going to cut this at 8 inches. We'll save this. See how cute that little piece is? Now I can put the paper cutter over here. So this is how this is going to come together. So this is 3 by 8. This is 3 1/4 by 8 1/4. And then this was 8.5 by 7. So let's put these together. These colors are kind of perfect for the weather here. It is end of January, and the weather is end of January for Central Illinois. Nice and cold, gray. All right, so we're going to put a greeting on here, and I'm going to use this new punch. See if I can find it. I don't remember the name. It's Happy Labels Pick a Punch. It's at the bottom here of page 53. So there's a greeting set that it's bundled with, but it's really nice and easy to use. It has kind of more of a ticket edge and then a tiny little scalloped edge. And you can use it with 1 inch, 3/4 inch or 1/2 inch strips. So we're going to do a 1 inch strip. And I'm always going to just check it to make sure it's lined up straight on the back. And then we'll stick in the other side here. Okay, thank you, Lori. She's clarifying that the card size for the mini Slimline is 6.5 by 6 1/4. Scored at 3 1/4. Just gonna write that down. I'll add that to my directions. Again, I'm not going to make any that size because I don't have envelopes to fit that, so I would have to get those at the office supply store or somewhere. Okay, so this is going to be where the greeting goes. And I thought, I mean, this paper is just perfect for everything, but I thought I would use the Sending Support stamp set. And this is one that you can get for free in the Celebration book on page 9. So with a $50 any product purchase, you can get that. And I kind of liked this little saying about courage. So we'll put that on our ticket. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here. Wow, so crooked. Let me flip that over. Probably put my sticker on wrong. That's better. Okay, so that's going to go up here. And then we'll take some of our twine and we'll wrap that around. This is also part of that suite, matches the colors in the paper. I think we'll do these two. I'm going to wrap this around a couple times and tie it on the corner. And cross those. This requires all concentration. There we go. And then we'll just separate these a little bit. This twine is so soft. Must be a slightly different mix of fibers than some of the other twines we have where it's just a little bit rougher. Okay. All right, so that's coming together. So we're going to pop up our little ticket here, and then we're going to create a little embellishment with these enamel sticker icons. They are so cute. And I'm trying to decide between the compass or the trees. And then I'm going to grab my Highland Heather, since that's our color, Stamp and Blend. I'm going to go with the trees. I'm going to give it some color before we put it on. Okay, since these are alcohol based and this is plastic, you're able to color it and it's going to evaporate and stay on there. So we'll add our greeting. And we'll add this little embellishment right there. I like how that just drew up those purples. So nice. And then these are nice neutrals too. These are new to the catalog. It's called Enamel Dot Essentials, and it has navy and like a khaki or a crumb cake and then white. So if you kind of just, the whites are, it seems boring, right? But if the white little embellishments are really nice if you want to just kind of emphasize something a little bit. So we'll just add a couple more. Just to give it a little, it's such a long space, right? Oh my goodness, Wendy, -41 Celsius. Actually, I don't know what that is. You'll have to translate that for me. It sounds cold though. All right, so there is our card base ready. Actually, I was going to do one more thing. I bought a new white pigment ink stamp pad. It's been a while. Mine is the old style. That's how old it is. It's still perfectly fine, but it's getting a little raggedy. And so I thought I would treat myself to a new one. But then I thought it might be nice if I waited and re-inked it just to show you in case this is a pad you don't have. So it's kind of nice to have white in your mix of colors. You can do a lot with this pigment ink very, very easily. And so it's something to consider, put on your list, or if you have it and you haven't used it, get it out. So this pad comes with the re-inker because you have to ink it yourself. And the reason for that is that because it's a thick pigment ink, you have to refresh it more often than you would a regular dye-based ink pad. And so it comes uninked, so you can do it when you're ready to use it. So pigment ink is meant to dry on top of the cardstock as opposed to dye ink that soaks right into the cardstock. And what's nice about pigment ink is it'll stay wet for longer, so you can emboss it if you want to with embossing powders. Okay, so all I'm doing is just covering this foam pad here with the pigment, and as I just kind of use the nozzle of the re-inker, it just kind of works its way down into the foam pad like that. And you would do this whole thing, and then you would probably have to come back and give it a little bit more because there's about 1/4 of an inch of foam there. But like I said, what's nice is when you get ready to use this for stamping, then you can kind of give it a little refresher with your re-inker. And then plus there's lots of things you can do with the re-inker. And one of the easiest things to do is to just make some splatters with this ink. And so you can use a little bit of the ink by itself. And add some water to it to make it inky, or to make it more runny. And then you can create some splatters. And again, those are going to need to dry because they're going to stay wet for a little bit. So I'll show you the rest of my cards here while we just give this one a little bit of time. And then we'll put him on his little card base here. And I had a center for him. There we go. Let's add this. So the insert here is the same size as this Starry Sky piece, so it's 8 1/4 by 3 1/4. And we'll put one of the other greetings in here. On the inside, we're going to put my shoulder is yours. And then, I haven't even put this all together yet. I really like this. Some days are harder than others. So let's put that one together. You see how I put my stamps together? I always do it this way. I put the sticker, pull the sticker off and put it on a block. And then I peel off the backing. And then I find the coordinating rubber image and I peel off that backing and put it upside down and make sure that the sticker image is the same, going in the same direction as the stamp. And then I can just make those match up. There. So now we've got courage is being really scared, doing it anyway. Some days are harder than others. My shoulder is yours. So this is just an encouragement card for somebody who's going through something and letting them know that you are there. I think that's this stamp set looks kind of boring as a free offering, especially compared to all the amazing paper in the celebration catalog. But these are great greetings that don't come around very often. They're really nice to add to your stash of greetings. I like this so much. There are so many ways you might feel right now. Alone shouldn't be one of them. You know, you've got this here for you always. It's great. So great to have those. All right, how are we doing here? I think we're doing pretty good. Let's get this finished, because I have 2 more different Slimline cards to show you. So leave a comment if you're watching this live. If you make Slimline cards, if you've made one before, if you like making them. Oh, I'm glad you picked purple. Didn't that turn out sweet? So easy. So here is the green one, because you know what? I knew you were going to pick purple. I knew it 100% you were going to pick purple. So I made up the green and the Coastal Cabana one. And so instead of doing the whole piece of Designer Series paper 3x8, I cut it at 6 inches and then I flipped over 2 inches of it. So it's the same size piece, but I just flipped it over to give it a little bit different of a base. And this one is Everything Will Be Okay. And then here is a different piece from that same pack of paper, again with a 3x8 inch strip. And then here is a card that you could make with this is the other 4 inches. That's the 12-inch strip right there. So here is, you can take this little piece and you can make another little regular size card with it. Susan's never made one before. Never. Oh, good. Oh, good. I'm glad. So I'll just be honest with you. I have never been really drawn to a slimline card. And when I was really thinking about it, because I spent a lot of work trying to figure them out, right? Because I want to be knowledgeable about all the kinds of cards you can make with the envelopes that Stampin' Up! Sells. And there was just something like, I just didn't want to make them. And I came to realize that really the reason is because it was new, right? Kind of new to me. And Sherry likes slimline cards. Becky, I'm so sorry. She wasn't going to buy that paper. Yeah, I really think there's nothing else like this that Stampin' Up's come up with these beautiful mountains and these scenes. I think it's a great pack of designer series paper. It's not specialty paper. It's $12. It's like, oh, just get it. Back to what I was saying. I think it was new and different. I can make this size invitation size card in my sleep, but this required a little extra work because I got to rethink, the measurements. It's not automatic for me. This is automatic to make this size. And so I thought, well, that's ridiculous, Robin, because you are asking people every week to try new things and new folds that they never have tried before. And you don't want to make slimline cards. So I had a little talk with myself, and then I jumped in. And of course, as it happens, you can see the value of something that's different. So these are just some simple, basic, slimline cards here. And this is with the dainty flowers, just simple stamping. Here's with the World stamp set. So, of course, just like our regular cards, they can be landscape or portrait. So what I did is make myself just a template with some paper that is retired. This cardstock is an older color, so that it kind of, when I have this piece of paper, I have these basic templates already made with the designs. Now this is this one, okay? So if you want let me get the envelope out. So this is, where's the one with the sizes? I'll just tell you why there's two variations here and hopefully not confuse you. So this is the size of Stampin' Up's envelope. And so if you make a card that's just slightly smaller as normal, when you have a card that fits into an envelope, this is what the finished size is. So it's really just like 1/4 of an inch wider overall. And then when you fold it, it's 1/8 of an inch wider than the card that I just made. Here's the one I just made. So it's the same height, it's just a little bit narrower. And it's what happens is, because this is 7 1/4, the halfway mark is 3 5/8. And so that, a lot of people don't like to use 8s, especially 5/8, right? It's not difficult. It just, sometimes you don't want to deal with it. So that's why there's this easier variation where everything is in halves or fourths. And that's the difference right there, is that there's just a difference in the width of the card, okay? And they both fit in the envelope. Obviously, this one's just a little bit easier measurement. But anyway, I always like to just make up those templates so that the next time I get it out, I don't have to think it. Okay, so here are just the basics. Now let's just step this up and let's make a different design. And so what I wanted to play with are these conversation bubbles. So let's do some stamping and some cutting for this card. So this is probably my favorite stamp set in this mini catalog. I don't have anything else like this. And I feel like it's a great addition, you know, in general, to like my stash of things that I have for greetings. So this Conversation Bubbles is on page 39, and there's a stamp set and the dies. So it's bundled together. So I picked out some to use, 5 of them. There's so many and so many different little variations. So we're going to do some of these in So Saffron. Hello. Make sure I do this right. Okay, so let's emboss, or emboss, my goodness. Let's cut. These out. I think this stamp set, you know, just adds a little whimsy to your cards with the little bubbles that you can fill with different things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I feel like I'm missing one. So Susan's asking, do they already have the words in them, or do you put any words in there? So you can do both, is the short answer, because I'll show you. Let's go back to this. All of the dies, the bigger dies cut out a frame and then the bubble. So you can cut them all out like this, not necessarily with glimmer paper, but you can cut them all out and just make plain frames. But then there's images. So these 7 here stamp with the words in them. But then if you used this die that cut this out without the stamp, then you could put whatever you want inside, like this. So this is this one right here without the frame that comes around it. And you could put any kind of word in there. Or you could stamp it like this, cut it out twice to get a frame of a different color. So I'm not going to use any frames on this one. I'm just keeping these really simple, but you get a nice little frame to use. And I'm just saving all these because they're going to make a great little background or something. Okay, so is that good? Okay, so let's do a little stamping inside these ones that don't have words. So we'll put sweet in that one. And then I want to put the love ya in here. It's a little bit longer than the bubble, so I'm going to do it, stamp it twice, and just ink half at a time. Let's do love, and then we'll clean it. And yeah. Okay, I think that looks right. All right, so let's get back to our Slimline cards here. So I'm going to make a different version that has a little activity to it. And we're going to use the On the Farm paper. This is freebie paper from the Celebration catalog. Again, this is another paper that I feel like I haven't had anything like this before. It's very cute. And it really stands alone. It does coordinate with this bundle, but if you don't mind fussy cutting, you can cut out all these animals and use this paper, without the bundle if you don't want to go all in on the farm thing. But I love this little thinking happy thoughts of you, and that's why I was thinking, oh, we need bubbles, right? We need the conversation bubbles. So let's pull that one out. Here are the colors in this paper. Nice country kind of colors with some pops of some brightness in there, right? Okay. So here's what we're going to do. So this is called a flip-flap Slimline card, and here's the pieces. This is also on your card making directions here, flip-flap. So there's the other version. I'm going to go ahead and do the simple version here. And so this is the size of the folded basic card, 8.5 by 3.5. So that's going to be a base. And then our card is 8 1/4 by 6.5. So this is going to be folded and mounted onto this piece. Okay, so we're just making a slightly smaller card to put on a base. So we still have that nice matte look, but it'll be a little different. All right, so you're gonna make 2 cuts in this card. Okay. This one is so much fun. So, whichever side you want to be the front, I'm going to call this the front, you're going to make a cut at 2 3/4 from each side. And so you make this cut and you stop when you get to the score line where the front of the card ends. Like that. So you just go all the way to there. So I'm going to make this easier and just flip it to go 2 3/4 from the other side. And you stop right at that score line. So now you have a card front that has 3 little flaps or doors. So that makes it kind of interesting. And when you get ready to cover these, the size that you need is 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. So I picked some of these papers to go on each little flap. So this is going to be a portrait card. So let's attach those. I just picked papers that kind of coordinated with each other in color and were different enough in pattern to make it interesting, but they all kind of go together. Let me just press that one more time. I'll get these doors. There we go. Cute, right? All right, so I already cut out our little animals. And these are just straight from the paper. I didn't do any stamping. Need our little pigs. I separated the little baby and the mama. So now we can put our little bubbles on and then get everything glued down. So little baby pig doesn't know how to talk yet. He's just giving some love. And hello. Okay, you see where I'm headed here? All the little critters are thinking happy thoughts. So I'm going to glue the animals right to the card, to the designer series paper. And then I'm going to pop up some of these conversation bubbles. This card's making me extremely happy. It just has that little bit of whimsy to it, right? Kind of unexpected, but yet these little animals are so cute. So we'll pop up these two. I'm amusing myself. Okay, so let's put this on our card base here. So the three flaps, you know, you could do so many different things, right? You could put 3 different messages inside each flap. I mean, they're kind of going to open at the same time, but it just gives it a little bit more interest to your card, right? It makes it even more, just a little bit more fun. You know, obviously kids would love to have something with a little interactive on there, but I mean, I would too. So we'll put this little thinking happy thoughts of you. And then I might do a little bit more decorating on the inside with some of the stamps. Later on. And I'm going to cut out 2 of these little hearts. I meant to do that when I did the bubbles, the conversation bubbles. Let's just do this. and that'll bring in some of that red. With our yellow, got that nice country vibe going here. Thank you. I'm glad you like this one. Following along with my silly whimsy here. So there is our flip flap Slimline card. So like I said, you could put some extra little things in there. Yep, yeah, absolutely. Renee, that's a great idea. You could glue this one down and then just have these two. You could put pictures in here. That would be really cool. Right? There's another version, which I'm not going to do this time, but you can make each of these flaps into easel cards with the little folds so that they'll stand up. So here is my little template, and this is the one that is the slightly wider version. And so both of these directions are on that PDF. And here's a landscape version with those cute little bunnies. Judy's got a great idea. If you put little Velcro on each flap, then each one would have a nice little satisfying little opening, and then they would stay closed. I love that idea. All right, so that's the flip flap version. It's pretty cute, I think. Okay, so we're gonna make one more version together. Let me pull this stuff aside. Just put those over there for a minute. So this one is a money holder version. And so this base is just 2 inches longer than the regular base for the easy version. And that extra 2 inches is just going to make a pocket. So the base is 8.5 by 9, and then you're going to score it at 2 inches and 5.5. So if you were doing it from this side, it would be 3.5, just like how you would fold. So this little oh my goodness, the extra 2 little inches is just going to go on the inside and make a pocket, but otherwise this is just the basic slimline. So I'm going to go ahead and make this into a pocket. I'm just going to add some adhesive on the edges. Of course, you could use a little decorative punch there, but this is great because it's big enough for a check or cash. So it's a nice size pocket that will fit into. And there's plenty of room to get it in and out. So I'm going to make the pocket behind the front of the card. That way I can still have the message on that side. So let's put our insert in here. Okay, so that's the money holder. I thought it would be fun to use some of the Dainty Flowers Designer Series paper. Also a freebie right now. So it's the end of January. We have one more month of celebration where you can get all those fun things for sale or on for free as part of the sale. So this paper is very popular. I wouldn't be surprised if it ran out, to be honest, but gorgeous, gorgeous colors. Okay, so I picked out some of the colors in this paper. It's just got such a unique little color palette. That pop of crushed curry in there with the two greens, the raspberry, the starry sky, and then these pastels. It's just really neat. I really like this paper a lot. And so we're going to use the dies from this bundle. Dainty Delight is in the mini catalog on page 55. So there's a stamp set, and then there's coordinating dies that actually do a lot of stuff. So for this card, I'm putting a whole piece on the front. This is 3x8 again. This is going to be a wedding card. This is one of those great occasions where you like to give money. And then I just have this little strip, little 3/4 of an inch strip to go along the side. Give it kind of that notebook feel, right? Michelle doesn't usually make Slimline. I am with you, Michelle. I'm going to throw that out to you too. Go for it, right? Do uncomfortable things, which for me was making these cards. But now I'm kind of intrigued by them. I wanted an oval because I'm going to use this gorgeous curved branch of leaves right here. This is like the best piece in this die set. And so I wanted an oval for my message. And so I cut out this oval from the framed florets. And I did it twice in fresh freesia and in white. And then I'm going to mix and match. So you actually, you save all those pieces and then you can use it again. So we'll have an oval base and then our greeting. So let's go ahead and put the greeting on. And I'm going to use this Here's to Beautiful Beginnings and Happily Ever Afters. I love that from the Something Fancy bundle, which we're not using any of those pieces, but just look at all the things you can do with the dies that come in this bundle. So many ideas. I showcased this at the kickoff event that I had last weekend, and so I haven't scanned this yet, but I will scan this document so you could download these ideas. That will be on my blog later. So we will I'm going to put this off to the side of the oval. So we'll put the flowers on the other side. And I'm going to keep all of this flat against the card because I'm going to put all these little intricate pieces. So what I've done is taken this beautiful curved greenery and cut that out of old olive. And then this is in the crushed curry, this little piece right here. And then I did the flowers in rich raspberry. And then this piece right here cuts 4 cute little flowers that are this size. So let's get all these pieces over here. Now, I had someone recently ask me about adhesive sheets, and so I wanted to just talk about adhesive sheets because this is one of those sets where it is a really great idea to use adhesive sheets for all these intricate little flowers. So this is how they come in a 6x12 piece. You get 12 of them in a package, I think, for $10. And so there's a thin film of adhesive that is attached to this side that peels off. So where these 3 strips are, when you peel those off, the adhesive is on the back. And then this is just like wax paper. And so what you want to do, and you can use it any way you want to, but you want to put them on your cardstock or your designer series paper. And then you can cut out your dies, and then they are like stickers. So I'm going to just take, so this piece is, let's see, 6 by 8.5. So I'm going to cut my adhesive sheet to match the cardstock. And that way I don't waste any. And so you just take off 1 strip at a time. And so this is sticky. I'm going to put it right on the cardstock. Like that. So you can do this from whatever size. Hey, Susie. Hey, Katie, welcome. Okay, so now that this whole thing is covered, I can just cut up the cardstock, whatever size I would need to match my dies, if whatever. And I kind of am anticipating I'm going to make some, I'm going to use the new alphabet set with these. So this is just me showing you how to put this on, but you can do it with any size piece. So let's say I wanted to make the crushed curry. When you peel that apart, the sticky side goes on your cardstock like that. And then you're ready to do some die cutting. So I would put this little die on here, and then when I cut it out, then this would have adhesive on the other side. Now this one doesn't, but I did that with the old olive and cut that out so you could see that this is now a sticker, and that it just makes it a lot easier. Because you don't have to try to put adhesive. Now, if you don't have the adhesive sheets, you can, these are little bottles that come, I just got them in Amazon, and I filled it with my Tombow so that I would have a tiny little nozzle. You can also use your silicone sheet, and you can put some glue on there and use a sponge and get the multi-purpose glue on the back of your images really easy that way too. So now that I'm ready to use this, I just peel off that other piece, and now we have a sticky die cut. So I'm going to put right here. I'm not going to press it all the way down. I just got pressed it right there. So I'm going to stick a couple other things in there, like this little yellow flower. Just going to stick that kind of in here. underneath. And then there's this tiny little stem. This one would have been good to put it on a die cut. Put that one here. And then these, if we wanted to, we could pop them up too. But I'm just going to glue most of them right to the card. Like that. I love the conversation you guys are having. I wish I didn't have to concentrate so hard on this card. I could be part of it. Talking about your stamp pad holders. I love it. Oops, get back here. All right, so I'm just tucking those little blue flowers on top of there, pressing everything down. I think we'll do one more purple flower. Down here. Then there's these tiny little leaves. I'm not going to put all of them on there, but just a couple. We'll put a couple by this little stem right here. If you like intricate, you'll like these dies. Okay. And let's put a little bit of our sparkle on there. These are called flat adhesive backed pearls. They coordinate with the By the Bay suite that has little oyster and pearls, but they're gorgeous. They're just beautiful. So I'm going to put those on the bigger flowers. Those beautiful raspberry flowers. All right, so there is our money holder. Let's see if I can show you that. Okay, and then you've got place for your money, and of course you could, decorate the inside as well. I'm not going to show you that today, but you could add more paper. It'd be very cute. Okay, so let me show you another one. So here's a landscape version. I also use those beautiful pearls. Those flat pearls are gorgeous embellishment. Kept this one very simple. I used the Decorative Borders stamp set from the mini catalog. If you kind of like to do things like with borders, you will love this one. It's very, very user-friendly. It's photopolymer, so you can see through it and line everything up. And I combined it then with this Kind and Sincere, with this big congratulations. This will also be a PDF, so you can kind of get some ideas for how to put the greetings together. It's a nice basic stamp set to have if you don't have those kinds of greetings already in your stash. And so this one goes this way. So there's where you can write and then stick your money. in there. Okay, so that's the money holder. Now, I'm not going to make these with you this time, but on your sheet where there are all these measurements, there's a couple other kinds that you can make. One is a trifold. So that would just add another 3.5 inch piece so that you could make a trifold, and this would give you a nice way to, you know, do a lot of stamping inside, right? And if you wanted to, let's just put this one out here for a second. If you wanted to make the trifold, but then cut diagonally, then you could do and fold it, you know, like a Z instead of inside like this. Then you could make the cascade card. So let me show you a sample. So this is the trifold here, but instead of leaving this one to come open, I just cut a little bit off to make a pocket. So it's great for that as well, and it's great for a nice big bookmark. So this is our cute little owl set. What is it about stacking animals on top of each other is just so cute, right? And I didn't realize this guy's looking up, that guy's looking down. It's perfect. It's just perfect. So there's a little bookmark. And so this is the trifold version. I just made it into a pocket. And then this would be the cascading one. That's also a trifold, but you just fold the top layer out. Okay, lots of fun things you can do. I wanted to make them all, but then I thought, well, we're going to be here all day if we do all that. So I'm going to save some for another time, but you are going to have all that you need to make all of these. The last one that's on this list is a gatefold version, and this one adds a couple extra pieces because you have to get that really long piece there if you want to. And so I didn't attach this so you could see the back, but you would want to attach it on another piece of paper so you wouldn't see how it was put together. But if you like gatefolds, you can also do a gatefold like that. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 different versions on this PDF so that you can go to town with Slimline cards. So let's look at all of them together, and then I'll see if you have any questions. Let me know what you think. Now, if you haven't made one before, are you going to try to make a Slimline card? You're going to be brave like me and give it a shot. All right, did anybody have a favorite? Wow, I'm gonna have to zoom up because they don't even fit on here. There we go. There's our beautiful mountain cards. All right. I am so excited that I was able to show these today, even though I might be a little bit late to the Slimline game. It's fun. You can do a different size card and use your stamps in a little bit different way, use your paper in a little bit different way, and use your envelopes in a little bit different way too. So that's exciting. I really like this one that we did first. This one is like my favorite, I think, from the day. It's not because it's purple. Maybe a little bit, but I really like that. All right, so I will have those directions on a blog post on my blog. And again, if you are watching this and you want to order in January, use that code. You get to choose a free spool of ribbon of these choices this month. And don't forget it's celebration, all those good things. I appreciate all the time that you spend with me in my craft room, and I love to see it when you take an idea and you use your stuff that you have in your stash and you put it right to work and you try something that I've tried. So that makes me feel really happy about what we share together and what we love. So please continue the conversation with me, and I will look